Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another TBR prompt jar video. So this time, it'll be choosing my October reads, obviously. We're at the end of September now, and with that, I also will be starting my final year of college. That will be fun, so obviously don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to read. I'll find that all out later, but let's just get straight into the video. I think again, like last month, I'm just gonna choose like 8 or so books so that this way, throughout the month, I have like a good amount of options to choose from on my TBR, but then I still have obviously a lot of other books that I can choose from, just like mood reading in general. Also, I do have a lot of books on my Kindle that I've been really wanting to read off Kindle Unlimited, and I feel like I've been just like neglecting my Kindle in general. So if any of these kind of like prompts will work for any of the Kindle books that I want, I will also be choosing some of those. But we'll obviously all see how that goes as the prompts, you know, come out. So let's get into it, shall we? Alright. Okay, so this first book is going to be a thriller slash mystery, which is absolutely perfect for this season. I don't actually have that many of them on my physical TBR just because I don't tend to like buying thriller books. Because I don't know, I feel like especially with thriller books, you really only plan on ever reading them once, if ever. And a lot of thriller books I feel like can be disappointing. So I do try to just read the ones that are on Kindle Unlimited. And then if I do really like it, then I might buy the book. But since we are considering a mystery, I think I'm going to go with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder just because this book has been on my TBR for quite a while. I mean, it's a really popular OG TikTok book, so I definitely have just been wanting to read this one in general. So this one is about two people in high school. They get murdered, and then okay, so basically our main girl character Pip is re-looking into this old murder case that happened at her high school, and although the case was closed, she I guess is a little bit suspicious of the verdict, or just like the guy who originally got convicted, she doesn't believe he's guilty. So I guess we're going on a little journey with her to re-look into that case, see what's going on, and then I guess potentially change what everybody's opinion on that case was. But yeah, so that's our first book. All right. Oh, and by the way, these are the same prompts. I didn't add any more. I didn't actually take out the ones that I also chose last month, so we may get some repeats, we may get some new ones. Not totally sure. That's all gonna just pop up as we go. Ooh, okay, a romance book. Obviously have a lot of those. That is probably my #1 genre, especially that I have like on my physical TBR. There are a ton that I have been wanting to read. Like, I've been really wanting to read The Dead Romantics. That was on my last month's TBR, which I have not gotten around to. I also really want to read The 7-Year Slip, also by the same author, which I just recently bought, but then I'm like, maybe I'll wait. Or maybe I'll read it at the end of this month since we do have a couple more days of September. Also, yeah, just gonna say it now, I did not do good with my last month's TBR, but that's because I read Red Rising, which was on the TBR, and then got completely distracted with the rest of the series, so like, I stuck to the TBR, but then that threw me off from the TBR. Does that make sense? I think so. Okay. I also have Things We Hide from the Light, because the new book in that series, Things We Left Unsaid, I think? Maybe? Is also just like a new book that came out, and a lot of people have been talking about it, but also I feel like I've seen mixed reviews on that. Like, I think people are a little bit disappointed because the two characters that everybody's been really looking for in that book like weren't in it as much as everybody hoped. So I'm like, do I really need to rush to it? I don't think so. And then yeah, I mean, okay, I'm not even gonna lie, I also have Ricochet, which is the second book in the Addicted series, which I've been really wanting to get to because I've only read the first book and it's like a 10-book series. So actually I think, yeah, I'm just gonna choose this one because I really want to get through this series. I do really want to read like the later books because I think I personally like the other couples, like Rose and Connor, and then is it Daisy and Reich? I think I will like those couples better, so want to not to get through Lily and Lo, but I want to see their character development that everybody talks about with this series. And yeah, so basically if you haven't been introduced or heard of the Addicted series, it's about Lily and Lo. Lo is an alcoholic, Lily is a sex addict, and they kind of fake date to hide their addictions from their families. And this is going to be their second book where I guess, I don't know, character development, that's all I've really heard. Okay. A genre you don't usually read. Okay, so I would say sci-fi would be a genre that I don't really read, but I have obviously been reading a lot more just as I've been, like I said, reading the Red Rising series. So I don't know if that counts just because that's been what I've been reading a lot lately. Maybe actually Dark Academia, because I've only ever read The Secret History and In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, which I think that's considered Dark Academia technically because it does take place at a school. But I have been really wanting to read If We Were Villains. But then also Ninth House is another one that I've been hearing a lot of really good things about. And I think it's more fantasy-ish, and that's kind of what I'm really in the mood for lately. So I'm just gonna pull this one out of here, and I think I'm gonna go with Ninth House. I have really no idea what this book is about. I know it takes place at Yale. Okay, raised in Los Angeles. Okay, wow. So she, I guess our main character, survives a homicide, or, you know, was potentially a victim and then, I don't know. So she survives this like fatal homicide and it's unsolved. And so I guess with this she gets the opportunity to go to Yale on a full ride and she has no idea why. So that'll be interesting to find out. I'm definitely in a fantasy mood. I feel like everybody else in the book world, fall just kind of screams fantasy for a lot of us, especially just like with the darker vibes. So I feel like this will be nice to read, especially like I said, as I'm gonna be back on campus and really feeling those like dark academia school vibes and stuff. All right. Book that starts with an S. Okay. That's a little bit of an interesting one. I have Stinger by Mia Sheridan. I have The Summer of '69, but I don't really want to read like a summer book right now. Well, I guess that's it. I don't have any other book that fits the prompt, so we're just gonna pick Stinger by Mia Sheridan. This book is about Grace Hamilton and Carson Stinger, so I guess it's named after him. He works in the adult entertainment industry, and it seems like it's starts off with a one-night stand, and then they I don't know, I guess then they fall in love. I don't really know. The back's not super descriptive. It just kind of like talks about each character individually and then says they have a steamy weekend. So Stinger. I do really like the cover for this one. I think it's really pretty. You get like an overlooking of a city from curtains, so this will be an interesting one to pick up. So far, if you're counting, we are at 4 books. So let's choose 4 more real quick. Ooh, okay. I'm pretty lucky with this one. A book you've been wanting to read. So Free Pass. And that is going to be... Okay, obviously a lot of these I've been wanting to read since they're all on my TBR. But ones that I've been really wanting to read, like I said, The Dead Romantics, that one, kind of with the hype for the 7-Year Slip, a lot of people have been reading that one, and I've heard really nothing but good things about this author in general, so I really want to pick up one of her books. Like I said, I do plan on reading the 7-Year Slip really soon, but I don't know if it'll be in September or October, so I don't want to add it into this video just in case I do end up reading it in September, but... we've got a lot of options. Okay, and then also this whole row, like I said in my last TBR prom video, normally these are all in my closet, but I just pulled them out as potential options to choose from. I've heard nothing but really good things about Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, but I'm also kind of scared to pick that one up just since that's not really my normal read. I don't really know anything about video games, which I've heard like isn't the end all be all. Like you won't not enjoy the book if you don't know about it, but I also don't really feel like compelled to pick that one up right now. And then also, like I've said too, I've been kind of in a little bit of a sci-fi kick, so I kind of want to read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir at some point. And then also Iron Gold, which is going to be the 4th book in, well, it's not the 4th book in the Red Rising series, like it is, but I don't know if it's technically starting a spin-off. I'm not really totally sure because it's like the original Red Rising trilogy, but then this book comes after. So I guess it is the 4th book, but let me think. Okay, so right now we have 2 romances, a mystery. Okay, you know what? I've heard Heather, who's really big on here, I've heard her like really rave about this series, and it kind of seems like a fun little palette cleanser slash would be good, especially if I have a lot going on with school. So I think I'm gonna add Ice Planet Barbarians to this list. It just sounds really interesting. Basically, it's about a girl who gets abducted from Earth and then ends up on this ice planet and then falling in love with, I don't know if it's just like her captor or some random alien that happens to be there. Not totally sure, but it seems like a funny, interesting, lighthearted, basically romance, like I've said. And I do have another book later on in the series, so definitely want to start this one. And yeah, so that's book number 5. All right. A book in a series that's not first. And of course, a lot of the ones that I've already chosen would be good in this prompt. But, okay. Like I keep saying, Red Rising is one of my favorite series of the year so far, so I think I'm just going to do myself a favor and add Iron Gold by Pierce Brown, since I do plan on finishing Morningstar really soon, which is the 3rd book in the trilogy, and we'll probably want to get to this one soon. This one is a thickie. It is almost 600 pages, but if I do get around to it, which I actually probably will, this is just definitely one that I want to pick up anyways during the month, so yeah, so far this is going really well for me. All of these books are ones that I really want to read anyways, so this is a good prompt jar. Alright. A really hyped book. I feel like I've been reading a lot of really hyped books, to be honest. Like, I'm currently actually reading Divine Rivals right now, which you guys have probably seen all over Bookstagram or BookTube. I think Sarah Caroli kind of started the trend a little bit, but, I'm not quite sure, honestly. And I was going to say maybe I could add the second book in the Fourth Wing series, but that doesn't come out till November. So, okay, you know what? I'm just going to add, oh god, these books are sitting there so freaking tight. I think I'm just going to add The Dead Romantics, because like I keep saying, I've been really wanting to read this book. The hype is there again with like the new hype for the 7-Year Slip. And since I plan on reading the 7-Year Slip, hopefully by the end of September, if not, it might be ending up being in October. Either way, I've just heard this is like perfect as a fall book, so definitely excited to pick up this one. And alright, and then so that is going to be book number 7. Let's pick one more, and I think that will complete my October TBR. Okay, a book with a number in the title. I have One Italian Summer, which again, I'm not really in the mood for a summer book at the moment. I have It Happened One Summer. Again, same, not really in the mood for that. Oh, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which was on last month's TBR and I didn't get around to it, which is actually a contender because again, I still do want to read it. I just didn't, so. Okay. I think we're just going to go with this one. I'm just going to add it to this month's TBR and see if we can finally get around to it. So we're going to add The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Basically, this book is about the life of Evelyn Hugo. She finally chooses some specific person to write her entire life story, where she goes through, like it says, all of the 7 husbands that she's had, and then kind of her just life as she grows up. And it does take place in like old Hollywood, which I think will be a really fun setting. And yeah, this will be hopefully one that I pick up this month. And then, alright guys, that is going to wrap up this month's TBR video. So we have 8 really honestly good books to choose from. I'm really excited for every single one of these. The prompts were definitely in my favor this video, so I definitely don't have any that I'm not looking forward to reading. Will I get to them all? Probably not. Like, let's be real here, especially since I'll be starting school, but it will be nice to have some options, and it will be fun to see at the end of the month which ones I did and did not read, which also I will have my September monthly wrap-up coming out soon, and also some fall recommendations. And yeah, so that is going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys liked it. if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys all in the next one.